Hey guys, MCU Collector here with the new video. This is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Black Panther 2-pack Target exclusive Agent Everett Ross and Erik Killmonger, and this is an absolutely awesome set. The Target stores are receiving these now, which is crazy late. So they're just now receiving these because Target is doing a big toy reset starting the 29th. So you may see them in your Targets on the shelves, or they may be in the back as part of a transition. So it's going to be hard to, it may be hard to get. But really cool 2-pack. So I actually talked to Dwight Stahl about this and was wondering, timing wise and how that works out. And they don't have full control over that. A lot of that is dictated by retail and whatnot. But I told him, I said, I got my Winter Soldier Falcon 2-pack before this one. He said, really? That's odd. This one should have come out a long time before. So it's actually pretty interesting to hear some kind of details from the man himself, Dwight Stahl. So really cool. And then fun little tidbit on the Agent Everett Ross. He said this was such a pain to put together because it was so hard to get the skin tone correct on Ross. I guess because of the hair color, and then the white pale skin. It was very difficult for them to do. In fact, he said they had several different trials to get it before they got it right. And he even has one in his office somewhere that it really doesn't look right, but he thinks it's funny. He referenced a movie, an old Tom Hanks movie, The Burbs. I think Tom Hanks. I haven't seen that movie, but there's an old man in that movie, and he said the figure that he has really reminds him of that character. So it was pretty interesting in talking to him. Now I know the big disappointment is there's no Stan Lee Build-A-Figure, no legs right in the middle where they should be. It's unfortunate. That was the big selling point, so I know a lot of people probably are going to pass this up, but we'll see how it looks and see how awesome it is. I did ask Dwight Stahl about Stan Lee, the Build-A-Figure, and he says Hasbro does not comment on images that are not released by Hasbro. So because we had the leaked images of the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure, Hasbro won't comment because they never released any images of Stan Lee. They never once officially announced the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure. I did ask him, though, if there's a potential for a future release, and he did say yes. Whether that holds true and we actually see it released, who knows, but there is a chance that later on the Stan Lee figure will be released. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it does. Okay, so we'll take a look at the package. You see Black Panther logo there, Everett Ross, Erik Killmonger. On the side, we have the Killmonger picture image, and I think that's the same from the single Wave 1 release. On this side, we have Everett Ross, looking pretty awesome. Here on the back of the package, you see the two figures, the promo images of the figures. So let's take a look at that bio. Okay, and the bio reads, while Everett Ross is assigned to escort T'Challa to American soil, Erik Killmonger threatens the security of the Wakandan borders from which T'Challa hails. Okay, everyone, here is the UPC to this package. Now, we know that it's a Target exclusive, so Target uses the DPCI. The DPCI for this 2-pack is 087163896. Now, on my Instagram, a long time ago, I had posted an image showing the DPCI as a different number. Now, I believe that number was tied to the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure version of this 2-pack. I know there's been some rumors and reports that there's a second Black Panther 2-pack that's using this DPCI that I just told you. That is not accurate. There are not two Black Panther 2-packs. There is just the one 2-pack. This DPCI 087163896 is the one. That other one, it doesn't. There's no other figures attached to it. So this is the one. Just so you guys know. But there's the UPC, just in case you guys want it anyway. All right, let's get ready to open this thing up because I really want to compare that Killmonger with the Wave 1 release. So let's open it up. All right, and here are the Killmonger and Ross figures out of the package. Figures are looking awesome. Some really cool things that I really like about both of these figures. We're actually going to take a look at the Agent Everett Ross figure first, and then we'll go into the Killmonger. The Ross figure we should go over actually pretty quick. There's not a whole lot going to it, so let's kind of focus on him a little bit. We'll put Killmonger off to the side. I'm going to get into the articulation right away just to kind of get it over with. We've seen the suited body before with the Bruce Banner figure, with the Coulson figure, Tony Stark, the Marvel Unlimited subscription exclusive. So Everett Ross, he looks down quite a bit. He can look up, so very good. Shoulders don't go out too far. However, only going to get that far range of motion. That's as far up as I can get it. You do get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which almost looks a little unnatural, almost too much of a bend, if that makes sense. There's a waist swivel and ab crunch that goes down pretty far, and the jacket is nice and flexible, so when you crunch down it looks good, but when you crunch back you can't really because the jacket gets in the way. Thighs go out that far. You do get an upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, which is done very good. There is an ankle pivot, and then you can hinge all the way down and you hinge up ever so slightly. But one thing about this figure that I really like is that it's easy to actually get Ross to stand up. I would have trouble with Bruce Banner and with Coulson getting them to stand up. Oh, and Chameleon too. I always had trouble getting them to stand, but it seems like Ross, a little bit easier to get him to stand, as I had a little bit of trouble just now trying to tell you guys, oh, it's easy to stand. This has been the easiest that I've ever been able to get this suited body figure to stand up, has been with Ross. So I don't know if the shoes are different or what the difference, what the case is. And they see, now I can't get him to stand, and I'm telling you guys, oh, he's easy to stand, as I'm having trouble. How about that, huh? That was always my biggest problem with the suited figures, is getting them to stand. But right now, I seem to be having that problem with this figure, and I did not have that problem earlier. So you can't get him to stand. So let's take a close-up look at the head sculpt, because that's... and he falls down. Anyway, let's get a close-up look at that head sculpt. Okay, and look at that head sculpt. Dwight Stahl, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Dwight Stahl said they had a hard time getting the skin tone right for Ross, and I think it came out looking very good. The skin tone looks good. The lip coloring is nice and subtle, and then you do have a little bit of what I would say is a 5 o'clock shadow down there, so the skin tone really gets darker as it goes down into his chin and neckline, so that came out looking very good. This is one of those male figures where Hasbro really did a solid job with the digital face print and getting it to really look accurate to Everett Ross. I think that comes off looking very good, much better than the package image shows. So Hasbro, kudos to you in getting this done nice and well, and you can see the facial expression, the details in it, I think looks really good. And the hair is done nicely as well. A little bit of wash over that grayish blonde color to really give it a realistic look to it. So Hasbro did a very good job on this Everett Ross. Just look at that face sculpt. Sculpted very well. The digital face print is done perfectly, and I think they nailed the skin tone. I think that looks really good. Okay, real quick before we go on to the Killmonger figure and compare him with the Black Panther Wave 1 figure with Everett Ross in the gray suit. I'm trying to think and remember if this is exactly what he wore in the casino scene or not. But one thing that's going to definitely happen for me is when he goes clearance, definitely going to pick up a second pack. Because I'm going to have him for my Civil War display, since he was in Civil War, and I believe he did wear a gray suit in that movie. And I'm trying to think, and I just can't remember on there. But we know that the Target exclusive 2-packs always go clearance, so I'm definitely going to pick up another one of these when it goes clearance, just so I can have another Ross. And I think a lot of people are going to do that because they're going to want this suited body for civilians, or maybe Tony Stark, or however they want to do it. But definitely a good figure, and I'm going to look to get a second one. So here we have the Killmonger figure, and we can see him up with the Black Panther Wave 1. So the figures are the same, but there are many, many differences to these figures. So obviously the head sculpt, we finally get an unmasked or unhelmeted head sculpt for Erik Killmonger. The Michael B. Jordan likeness is spot on. Hasbro did a really good job. But the biggest difference in the two figures is going to be the paint. The sculpt is all the same, but this one's definitely highlighted more by the gold paint apps that are on here. This one was awesome, and I'm trying to think which one would be more movie accurate. I want to lean towards this one, actually, even though this one looks pretty awesome. It's actually done in a gray plastic versus the black coloring, but this one had the camouflage paint deco into it, which is just amazing. I don't know how Hasbro did that, but this figure does not have that whatsoever. He's very dull. There's no shine to him or anything, but we get a lot of nice gold paint apps done to him, so that's pretty awesome. So before we get into it, we'll actually do a real quick of the articulation, even though we already have seen this figure, so we know the articulation. But the big call out is the butterfly joint, so that's awesome. Michael B. Jordan head can look all the way down. He can look all the way up, very good, because there's a lot of motion in there. The hair is, this added piece here is a little bit pliable, so it's kind of glued on there. You get upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, shoulders go out so far. It's kind of a big shoulder joint there. Ab crunch all the way down, back a little bit, legs go out very far apart, upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, very good motion there. Hinged foot goes up, down, ankle pivot, and waist swivel. So that's good, nice ratcheting in the waist. So there it is. So now let's take a close-up look at this figure and close-up look at the Michael B. Jordan head, because this thing is awesome. Okay, and here is the Michael B. Jordan head, and that looks awesome. Hasbro nailed it again with one of the male actors in their likeness with the digital face print. I do think this looks like Michael B. Jordan, just how he was in the movie. I believe this is actually a different head sculpt than what we're going to see in the Wave 2 with the tactical suit Killmonger. I'd have to double check that, but I believe it's going to be a different facial expression. But this looks awesome. This is more of a calm look to Killmonger, I would say, but it looks very good. I really like the detail that they put into it. You can see the sculpted hair for his beard came out looking really good, and then the paint apps to it into his mustache came out looking very nice. So I really like the way that looks. And then here, looking at the figure, you can see it's just like a gray plastic, but the gold paint apps on this compared to the other one, this one didn't have a whole lot of gold in there, but it had the camouflage paint deco in the figure. This one has all the gold throughout. So it's kind of both ways on how on the figure. So in the movie, yes, he does have a lot of this gold throughout, but he also had the camouflage look. So it's, you know, we can't get the best of both worlds here. We get it either or. But I do like the way that the paint apps are on this one. The gold is much more subtle, as you can see here on that neck piece. It's definitely a lot brighter here compared to this one. It's a little bit dull, not as shiny metallic. And then the gold paint throughout the line work, it comes off looking very clean, very good. I do really like the way that looks, because you had all this sculpted detail in the figure before, but you never really noticed it because there was no paint apps to it highlighting it. So here on this figure, we get a lot of the paint throughout. So not a whole lot on the back. Typically don't see that a whole lot on the back of figures, but throughout the front and everything, you get that. So that looks very good. I really like the way this Killmonger figure came out. We look at the accessories, same accessories that came with the first one. You have this sword piece and then this spear piece. The paint apps might be a little bit different, but not a whole lot of change to it, so I'm not even going to go over it, but he comes with those. Now looking at the head sculpt, you can see here is the new one versus the old one. So there's the yellow is, the gold is definitely brighter on the new one compared to the older one, which is a little bit different. But again, you don't get that shine, that shimmer metallic look to this new one as we saw with the old one. But they are the same sculpt and they do look very good. And you're not going to want to really switch them up because the plastics don't really match the black versus the gray. They don't match a whole lot. So alright, so here's the 2-pack. One thing I forgot to mention, that Killmonger does come with additional hands. I already switched out his left hand, so it's one to hold the weapons, and then one set of just the open clawed ones. Not a whole lot there. To switch out the head, simply pop off and pop on the new one. That doesn't really want to pop on. Just kind of sits there high on top, but you can see same figure, but this one I really do like the way it looks, more subtle. But I wish we would have gotten a little bit. Actually, you know what, now that I'm really looking at it a lot closer, there is some texture. There's definitely some texture added to it. I'm not sure how I didn't notice that before, but let's zoom in again and take another close look at that. Okay, so you notice the rigid texturing, like here on the abs, and then here throughout the pelvis, and then here throughout the legs, and then actually all over the back of the figure. It was all smooth, but this new one actually has added texture to it. So that's actually a pretty nice touch to give us a very different look. So it's interesting that Hasbro would go that extra mile to actually add in the texture to the figure. That's something that we wouldn't normally see with a reissued figure or re-release or repaint, whatever you guys want to call them. But that's definitely enough to really make a difference. I really like the textured look to it compared to just that smooth look. Huh. I might change my mind on which figure I actually like a little bit more. The paint deco of the Wave 1 is awesome, but the texturing and everything on this new one really helps it stand out. Alright guys, so there's the review. Again, solid 2-pack. I think a lot of people are going to pass on it again because no Stan Lee Baff. That was the big selling point to these 2-packs, because we know with these movie 2-packs, they don't seem to sell real well. Right when they first hit, they're hot. Everybody wants them. But then over time, nobody starts to buy them, and then they go clearance, and then everyone waits to go real deep clearance, and then they're gone, and then everybody wants them again, and the prices shoot back up. This set's going to be no different. I think it's going to be definitely a very slow-moving 2-pack. But I do really think it's one to pick up. For one, a lot of people are going to like the suited body for Ross to really use for other characters. That Everett Ross head sculpt for the actor, I can't think of his name right now, but you know, he's in The Hobbit and all those other movies. It looks amazing. They did a great job. The Michael B. Jordan head sculpt is awesome. The Killmonger figure with the added texturing to the figure is great. I really like it. I do highly recommend this 2-pack. I think it's great. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, any comments, hit them down below in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up if you guys liked the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I recently surpassed 3,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Unbelievable. I just passed 5,000 followers on Instagram as well. So thank you everyone for your continued support. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be having a giveaway on Instagram here pretty soon. And I will be doing a YouTube giveaway as well. So there'll be 2 giveaways to look forward to. So here's the 2-pack. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch the video, hit those thumbs up, comments, all of that stuff. Really do appreciate it. So guys, thank you for watching.